Hey everybody, so we're back again. This time we're going to be taking a closer look at this CZ27. I know you've seen two of the previous videos that I've done on this, as well as some of the parts that were missing from it. Um, there's plenty of videos out there where people do a field strip on the weapon, which is kind of like how you see it here. But I've yet to come across anyone on YouTube that's actually done a detail strip. Um, I know military surplus carbine collector was wondering about this because he has some parts on his that he needs to replace. I have some parts on mine that I need to replace. For instance, this piece right here. This piece is called the hammer spring, which kind of fits back down in here. Um, and I think he actually ended up, unfortunately, breaking one of the pieces in the disassembly. So what I'm hoping to do is I tore this down earlier. I put it all back together. I actually cleaned a lot of the grease that was in here out because the grease is, I don't know, 80 years old. So I cleaned it out so that you could see this a little bit better. And what I'm going to attempt to do, this may be a long video, I apologize, but I'm going to attempt to detail strip this. And hopefully for the rest of you guys out there that have a CZ27, maybe this will help you out. So for starters, we're going to start by removing this piece right here. This piece, according to the parts diagram, is the safety catch. That's going to come out first. I'll give you a close-up picture or close-up view. It's this piece right here. So first, we're going to start by popping that out, and you can use. It's quite easy to come out actually. You can just pop it out with a screwdriver. So that piece, just kind of lifts right out, and you can kind of see there's a curved spot down here, and that's where this spring actually rests, so that when you push on it, it pushes that spring up. So so we've got that piece out. The next thing I would recommend doing, and no, I do not have the right tools by any means, so I'm just kind of making do with what I have right here. Here in the house. So we're going to take this spring out that I just pointed out. So you can pop that out and then just kind of pull down. And this is that spring that basically pushes up on your trigger bar assembly. So we're going to set that aside. So now what we're going to do next is we're going to lift this trigger bar assembly out of here. You guys are probably think I'm crazy. I'm going to use this hammer spring just because it's nice and flat and very easy to use. And I'm just going to pry up on this piece here to get it out of here. I say that I am. You got to move your hammer apparently down. I forgot about that when I did this the first time. So we're just going to kind of lift up. You guys can kind of see what I'm doing here. I'm going to get under here, kind of lift up. You're going to see this is going to come right out. So there's your trigger bar assembly. I'm going to set that aside. So those are two of the hardest pieces to get out of there. Then what you're going to do is you're going to simply rotate your hammer up, and you're just going to pull it straight out. So that hammer's got to come out before you can ever get this hammer spring in back here and put the screw in. Just note, because I'm sure some of you that have had to replace this, you probably tried to shove it up in here, you're going to end up breaking this, at least from what I can tell. So now what we've got to deal with is some internal parts to the frame. And these can be a bit of a pain to get out. In particular, the magazine disconnector that's down in here is a pain to get out. And one of the things you're going to have to do is you're going to have to drive this pin out. So you have your disconnector in here, then you have a spring in between it and your trigger. So you've got to drive this pin out in order to get your magazine disconnector out. So I'm going to start by doing that. Just going to take a small punch. I'll put it right over that pin. It's not a roll pin, it's just a solid pin. We're just going to tap that thing out. Really nothing to it. if you can stay on it. Wow, I can't hit anything tonight. So you're going to drive that pin. Probably just saw that pin pop out. There's our pin. Oh, I don't know how well you can see it. There it is. I apologize for the lighting once again. Not the best. Not a lot I can do about it. I'm not a big time YouTuber, so let's see if we can get that. Here comes the fun part. Just trying to get that disconnector out, which is not the easiest thing to do. You might be able to see it down in there. See that? It's just kind of protruding a little bit. Basically, you want to get the punch down in here or something and just kind of pop this out. You might be able to take and just tap it. Oh, that didn't work. Let's try this again. Of course, now I have trouble with it when I'm on camera. Let's see what we can do. I don't know why this is so incredibly hard to get out of here. Anyway, the point is this spring goes between your disconnector and your trigger. If you're not careful when you try to lift this out, you can pop this spring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat. I'm going to use my hammer spring. I'm going to take and press down on this spring so I can get it out of the channel of that trigger, and I'm going to start lifting that trigger up and out of there. And yes, I'm fully aware that I'm not doing this the best way. Okay, so then we can take this trigger, lift it completely out, and what you're left with, I don't know why all the tension just came off of that. Come on, fall out of there. There it is. There's your magazine disconnector. And the spring. And there's our spring. You guys can see I've already managed to bend it some, but it's very easy to bend right back. So there you have it. Completely, well, not completely. I didn't take the ejector. I didn't remove the ejector. Okay, I get it. You know, you can drive this pin out and remove your ejector if you want to. I'm not going to do it for the sake of showing you on the camera. But there is your CZ27 nearly entirely detailed strip. You know, we're coming in at almost 10 minutes. You can see this is time consuming. I've already done it one time and it took much longer the first time. But basically, for those of you that have a broken hammer spring, what you would do is you would slide this up, because if you notice, your hammer spring has a dovetail on it. So what you're going to do when you go to install this is you're going to slide it up in here. You're going to push down. Oh, wait, gotta get it past that. like this. See, it's on the back side of that stud. And then you're going to slide it downward into this slot here. I would recommend probably using a punch to slide it down into place. You guys saw that I just slid it down into place. You see how that fits in there? So then you're going to take your hammer spring screw and you're just going to screw it in right here. And then you're going to basically install everything else back in here. You guys can, I guess, replay the video so you can see that. I'm not going to do it for the sake of time here. But, other than, like I was saying, other than the ejector and other than the magazine release, which would be a little bit of a pain to get these out. I'm not going to do that for the camera. But there's your CZ27 detail strip. I hope this helps you guys out. I'll be quite honest with you, I just had to figure this out. There was nothing that I could reference to show me how this works. I basically got the parts diagram from Gun Parts Corp and just kind of looked at it and just looked closely at everything as I took it apart, and I was, lo and behold, I was able to get it apart without breaking anything and get it all back together. So anyway, if you guys like videos like this, you like to see, and learn some things about, for instance, any of these secure and relic firearms that there's just not much information out there on in terms of disassembly and reassembly, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. It helps to grow the channel, and hopefully, one day I'll be like some of the bigger gun tubers and, have some sponsorship or something. That would really, really be nice. But anyway, till that point, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing and putting content like this out there for you guys. So, like I said, if you like stuff like this, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Share it with your friends, share it with anybody else that may have a CZ27 where this might help them out. But anyway, thanks for watching, and you guys have a great weekend.